got to get out. I got to get out. I got to do something. This is not me. This is not me. I did crack for like 7 years, and you know, I didn't never get the real aspects of the high because I was always working. You know, it didn't get me to that point, but I got to that point where I was low on my body. You know, a man wanted to take my body, and I'm like, no. So I got to get out. That's what I was thinking. I got to get out. I got to change. I got to do something with that. This is not me. This is not me. I was in a house with a guy getting high, and he was trying to be demanding. You know, like he was just gonna take my body, or just I was just gonna give it up regardless of what. But at the same time, I the one who, so to speak, was the one who had it, provided the crack cocaine and everything, and I was giving him, you know, but he still was gonna make it seem like I was just gonna up my body, and it got into it. Then he pushed a big like table, solid table, wooden table to the door, and and we had been drinking and everything, you know, so I'm going through my mind playing the tape and everything, and he was sitting there drinking, you know, I was a beer drinker then. He was drinking liquor. He was a very bad alcoholic. And I was sitting there. He was on the back of the bed, standing up, drinking, and I was sitting in a chair, and I was drinking my beers, and I had beer bottles all around me. And I'm sitting there looking like, this is a big man. And he's talking about taking me, you know, and I'm like, taking my body, you know. I'm like, really? No, I don't think so. But yeah, that was a part of my life. That's where I get this scar from. He threw a beer bottle at me as he was running out of his own house, because I really went at it. I sat there and thought the process through, and the bottle was still closed, and when he hit me, I was finna do this right here, but I stopped because I realized, you know, the glass was, you know, scattered everywhere, and I would have cut my face up bad. It wasn't very long after that when I told you the lady from the church, she came looking for me. She, you know, and I had been asking about her too, you know, but it was not long after that I really seeked out to him. You know, you know, growing up, you know, you be going to church, you know, but I just really reached out to him then. I couldn't, it scared me. It really scared me, and I've never been so scared in my life, because my daddy, you know, he always protected me. You know, he always showed me, you know, fighting with 9 boys, you know, nothing really got to me except for, at that time, I had been drinking and drugging, and there's this big man over me, and I'm like, wow, God, I need you right now. You know, I need you. I really need you, because I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I was scared. I was really scared out of my mind. But he was there. He was there. Me losing my apartment, me losing my job, well, quitting my job, you know, that wasn't rock bottom, because I had money saved up. You know, I was always, you know, my dad taught me, you know, saying no matter what, you always work, you know, because my dad was a productive alcoholic. You know, he always worked, and my mom, she didn't do no drugs or nothing. She, at that time, she wasn't doing drugs or anything, but she always worked. So I did come from that side of the family of knowing how to work, but you know, hustle, pick up cans, pick cans, because you know, from the country, you know, you learn from the city to the country, but only at that moment when I felt like I hit rock bottom. Not losing the cars or, you know, the house department or anything, the job. But at that moment, I knew I had hit rock bottom. But I'm same person, it's just that I was sick. I'm very grateful. What I got out of here the first time I came, it's nothing like this one. This time I'm here. I got the peace in here when I first came, but I got the peace in here and in here. Now, I understand God more now. I, you know, I feel Him more now. I listened because I wasn't listening. And I listened. And I'm broken. I have grace for brokenness. And it's good. It feels good because where I had my walls up, wouldn't let nobody in. I wouldn't, talk to anybody. I was like, I don't have to deal with you. It's okay. It's okay to have people that love you on the outside. And if they don't, it's okay. It's okay that they don't feel the same way I feel. It's okay. It's okay to give somebody love and they don't give it back. That's the most thing that I really got out of it because that's what really got me in my addiction when, my favorite auntie told me that. When she looked at me and she was like, I'm like, so you don't love me the same? And I'm like, okay. But now today, I love the brokenness that I have because I have a better understanding of who I am and whose I am.